Imagine walking into a space where the atmosphere shifts the moment you cross the threshold. Conversations quiet, postures straighten, eyes dart toward you with a mix of caution and curiosity. No raised voice, no dramatic entrance, just an unmistakable weight that makes others feel the shift in gravity. This isn't charisma or charm. It's a confidence so solid, so unyielding, that it unsettles people on a deep level. Niccolo Machiavelli discovered this centuries ago in the treacherous courts of Renaissance Italy. He advised rulers that while it would be ideal to inspire both love and fear, if forced to choose, fear offers greater security. It is far safer to be feared than loved, he wrote in The Prince, because love depends on fragile obligations that people break when it suits them, but fear endures through the constant dread of consequences. We're not discussing mere self-esteem or positive thinking here. This is about forging a presence that commands without demanding, a psychological force that reshapes how others behave around you. Let's dissect the path step by step, drawing from Machiavelli's sharp observations on power and human nature. Apply these principles consistently, and the change will feel irreversible. Consider a young professional named Alex who started in a high-stakes corporate environment. Talented and diligent, he still found himself overlooked. He agreed to every request, laughed at jokes that fell flat, and filled awkward silences with unnecessary words. One day, after being sidelined for a promotion in favor of someone less qualified but far more assertive, he turned to Machiavelli's writings. The shift began subtly. He stopped seeking approval and started holding his ground. Within months, colleagues no longer treated him as interchangeable. They deferred to him, stepped aside in hallways, and spoke more carefully in his presence. The transformation wasn't loud, it was profound. First, cultivate true detachment from external judgments. Most people live tethered to opinion, swelling under praise and shrinking under criticism. Machiavelli understood that while appearances matter, dominance comes from regulating what you disclose and what you internalize. Sever your identity from applause and disapproval alike. Accept praise without absorbing it. Examine criticism without flinching. Extract anything useful. Discard the rest without resentment. This builds an inner fortress, quiet, immovable. People sense when you no longer seek their approval. It unsettles them. The familiar social loop collapses. They provoke, test, escalate, searching for leverage, only to find nothing to grasp. Second, master silence as a tool of influence. Words flow endlessly from those who fear the void. Machiavelli counseled speaking sparingly, allowing others to expose their intentions. In conversations, resist the urge to fill every pause. After a question, hold eye contact and count silently to 3 or 4 before responding. In that brief space, their mind races, filling the gap with assumptions. When you finally speak, do so deliberately, at a measured pace. This signals that time bends to you, not the other way around. Interruptions? Simply stop speaking. Maintain steady gaze. The interrupter often falters, apologizes, or trails off. Resume exactly where you left off, at the same volume. You reclaim the floor without struggle. Third, establish firm boundaries without apology. Machiavelli observed that men submit to necessity, not kindness. Weakness signals permission to be exploited. Break the reflex of automatic agreement. Stop explaining yourself to people who haven't earned context. Decline requests cleanly and without emotion. That doesn't align with my priorities. No stories, no justifications. This alone filters parasites from allies. Those who drain you disappear. Those who respect strength adjust. In work and relationships alike, the one most prepared to walk away controls the frame. Practice scarcity deliberately. Leave gatherings while your presence is still desired. End calls first. Remove yourself from constant access. Absence sharpens value. Mystery expands in the space you refuse to fill. Fourth, command physical presence. Your body speaks long before your mouth opens. Machiavelli understood that authority is felt before it is explained. Carry yourself accordingly. Stand tall, spine straight, shoulders relaxed yet open, owning space without asking permission. Move deliberately. Walk with intent, eyes forward, unbothered by oncoming traffic. Others will instinctively shift aside. Hold eye contact calmly and without haste. No fidgeting, no restless scanning. Stillness signals control. Your posture should suggest certainty, not aggression. Comfort with power, not hunger for it. People read this subconsciously. They lower their voices, give ground, and grant attention before realizing why. Fifth, cultivate an air of enigma. Power weakens the moment everything about you is visible. Oversharing bleeds authority, one careless detail at a time, until nothing about you carries weight. Machiavelli guarded his thoughts fiercely, revealing only what advanced his position while burying the rest beneath deliberate silence. Do the same. Speak less about your inner world. Withhold vulnerabilities, routines, motives, ambitions, and trivial updates that add no leverage. Not everyone deserves access. When pressed about your plans or whereabouts, respond calmly and vaguely, handling some matters. Then stop. Let silence apply pressure. Most people rush to fill empty space with explanations. Resist that urge. Mystery commands focus. In an age addicted to exposure and confession, restraint feels unnatural, even threatening, and that unease breeds intrigue. People speculate. They project meaning onto your quiet. They imagine depth, power, and intent. What they can't read, they respect, and often fear more than open strength. Sixth, root everything in genuine competence. Strategy without substance collapses under pressure. Machiavelli understood that reputation must rest on real capability, on mastery forged through study, repetition, and experience. He studied wars, leaders, landscapes, and human nature itself. Do the same in your domain. Train relentlessly. Study until patterns become instinct. Skill creates gravity. When your confidence is earned, not imagined, composure becomes effortless. In moments of chaos, eyes turn toward you without command. Your history speaks before you do. Silence becomes commanding. Presence carries weight. Without real competence beneath it all, every other tactic rings hollow, exposed the moment reality pushes back. Seventh, accept that pursuing your path will cast you as the antagonist in someone else's narrative. Machiavelli knew that leadership demands decisions that offend comfort and disrupt expectation. Boundaries anger those who benefited from your access. Discipline unsettles those who thrive on distraction. Growth threatens people who survive on stagnation. Let it. Discomfort is the cost of direction. When they brand you selfish, cold, or distant for protecting your time and energy, offer no justification. Respond evenly. If that's how it appears, no explanations, no emotional leakage. Sovereignty requires the courage to be misunderstood and the resolve to move forward regardless. Integrate these elements gradually. Don't rush the transformation. Tomorrow, practice just one. Hold silence a few seconds longer in conversation. Decline a request that drains you. Stand taller and slower in a meeting. Resistance will surface immediately. Old habits will protest. Social reflexes will claw back control. Push through anyway. The initial chill fades into respect. People stop touching your shoulder casually. They stop interrupting. They look you in the eye with measured attention. The unease you create isn't fear of harm. It's the awe of encountering someone fully self-contained, unmoved by approval, unbound by the hunger to belong. Machiavelli wrote for those willing to face power as it is, not for crowds chasing comfort. This path can feel lonely at times, but it delivers something rare: sovereignty. You become the fixed point others orbit, the presence that reshapes rooms without effort. If you want more videos about dark psychology and human nature, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.